Hello stars, my name is Blue, and today we are lost in Pesterquest. Wow, it's been a while. I'm sorry for leaving you guys so long, but I've been going through the motions. But I'm back. And I'm gonna do my best to stay back this time. For real. Let's get into it. So last time we played Pesterquest, we left off on Risco. And today we start Volume 7, Route 1, begin the friendship process. Let's get into it. It's a clear, cool night. Oh god, hang on. It's a clear, cool night, and you're wandering around trying to decide whose hive you should crash at before the sun comes up. It's nice having so many options for places to stay. You've cultivated a decent community for yourself, and there is an ember of pride in your belly about it. Still, you find yourself feeling a little aimless. The last couple of friends you made were pretty intense, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you're vibing at a chiller frequency right now. There's still a while until it gets dangerously light out, so you sort of pop around, see what feels right. It's kind of fun to test out the boundaries of your powers. You've used it to find friends, but you're really not sure how far it goes. You think tree, and you don't know how your magic brain decides which one to choose, but fuck if you aren't sitting on an extremely high branch a second later. Oh. Thank you, Norton. You don't see the notification, but I do. You try it again with whatever concept comes to mind. Garden. Cave. Mall, and it works. You don't remember ever having been to any of those specific places, but you feel a strange, prickly affinity for them each time your feet touch the ground, as you should, MC. Those are all pretty generic locational nouns, though. You wonder if it works for things that are more abstract. Quickly, before you can talk yourself out of the naivety of it, you think, home. And still, it takes a minute to open your eyes, even after you feel your guts all back in the right place. Because what if you wake up in a room that feels like yours, or worse, and indefinitely more likely, what if you don't? You breathe in deep and immediately cough wretchedly. You open your watery eyes, clinging to the hope that maybe you come from a land of dusty comforters where you always just breathe in layers of dust and it's fine. It's not fine. You've landed inside one of the most spindlest, most precarious hunks of metal that has ever been bolted into the side of a cliff. It looks like some ancient outpost, not homey at all. Of course that wouldn't work. It was stupid to try. Defeat is bitter in your mouth. There's a twisty part of you that wants to curl up on a particular piece of floor and take a nap. You can't work out how much of an urge is just you wanting to give in. So, just in case, you don't surrender to it. Maybe you'll come back another time and sift through all the shit on the shelves. But for now, you're not sure how structurally sound this thing is. And you can't take any more disappointment. So, you try one more time to pop up somewhere you haven't been before. What was that one guy's name that Gamzee mentioned? Oh yeah, Equius. Maybe he's chill. You think his name and zap away, imagining yourself leaving an edgy, despondent swirl of dust in your wake. Oh no. Are we gonna get our... We're gonna get fucking punched. Your magical zap calibration maybe isn't as off as you thought, because you pop in on Equius as close as it is possible to get to the dude without landing directly on top of him. The astonishing unchillness of the situation is immediately apparent. He's mid-jump, mid-yell, mid-sweat, and mid-swing of an outlandishly beefy arm down towards you. You freeze frame, like an anime protagonist analyzing their choices mid-battle. In your drawn-out split second of an observation window, you realize he's not aiming at you, but in the direction of whatever noisy, whirling thing you happen to pop down in front of. Fuck. As soon as he sees you, his eyebrows shoot up above his busted ass sunglasses. Hey, don't give him shit for that. He can't help it. And his yell strangles itself into panic. His arm shudders as though he's trying and failing to alter its glorious face-forward trajectory. You really do not want to get your face punched off your head, so you scream and zap just outside of the high arched door on the far end of the room. Equius, that's the core! I knew it was bad, but I didn't think it was this bad! You hear a deep, meaty thunk followed by your groan, then a sharp metallic crunch. The whirling stops. Oh my god, is he dead? Is the other thing dead? Should you go and check on him? You skid away from the door and then back to it, unsure what to do. Was that? No, it can't have been. Hello? Show yourself this instant. I don't know what voice to give Equius. So I used to watch Homestuck instead of read it, because I'm like that. I can't remember what his voice is like. We'll work it out. Ah, fuck. He does not sound happy. His words are a little garbled too, like some teeth just got knocked out by whoever's ass he was just kicking. You weigh your options. Be brave. Oh no. Oh man. You know, the Gamzee seal of approval is maybe not the most credible, but this guy might be an okay dude. And it would definitely be your fault if he was hurt in there. You should at least check on him, explain, or something. You can zap away if it comes down to it. You do the polite thing, this time, and knock. He opens the door fast. Like he was just on the other side of it. You both jump. He collects himself and glares at you, arms crossed against his heaving chest. Rivulets of blood and sweat run together and pull in the divot above his weird alien clavicle. And a low, menacing sound rumbles through him. You can feel it in your teeth. Holy shit, he's terrifying. Explain yourself immediately. You think he might shit your pants on spot, but he gives you a quick up and down and rearranges his expression into a sort of forced smile. I just looked at his sprite. Oh my god, he's trying. He's trying. It doesn't really feel any more welcoming, what with the blood dripping down his chin, but the fact that he's trying is maybe a good sign. You hold in your fear shit, just in case. Or, perhaps, Come in and take a seat. What is this voice? We'll work on it. He steps aside and beckons you through the door, then sort of freezes. Unless you should be the one instructing me, in which case it would behoove you to make it that promptly apparent. I forgot. I kind of forgot that Equius was like all about like the power of caste and whatnot. Like the blood caste. Because even though Gamzee's a doofus, a terrifying doofus, he respects him to high hell. I cannot work out how exactly to address you when you don't wear a caste symbol. And you look like that. Which I am either very sorry for or... Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I know the percent sign is supposed to be like an X or whatever, but I don't know how to like read that. Which I am very sorry, which I am either very sorry for or quite percentage sign about. I don't fucking know. Depending on where the truth lies. Either way, I'm beginning to perspire about it. So, out with it right now. Man, he's really struggling. The anger you felt radiating off of him before is still there, but that doesn't seem to be all that's what's driving him. It's like there's two compelling forces inside of him. One that wants to yell at you, and one that wants to get yelled at by you. You might conceptualize these forces as fierce animals, warning in a glorious, unwavering balance. Horses, perhaps? Anyway, you'll workshop a metaphor later. You tell him that you know you look weird, but you promise you're cool. You know a friend of his. At the mention of Gamzee, the corner of his lip curls up into something complicated. So you change course real fast just in case. And Karkat, does he know Karkat? What a guy. He eyes you warily. Or you think he probably does. With his eyes hidden behind his shades, you can't be sure. But he's being very still. Sweat and blood are still just fucking running down his face. And he's not even acknowledging it. You laugh nervously. You both continue to stand there waiting for the other to make a move. It would be super helpful if someone was assertive around here. Oh. I forgot about his loose. Give me a minute to compose myself. Luckily, some kind of cow centaur man, his luces, you assume, breaks the awkward doorway stalemate by silently trotting up and handing Equius a desperately needed towel. Then he offers you both some frosty glasses of milk. Something deep inside you feels a swell of warm recognition for the ritualistic moment of a friend's parent bringing you snacks. So you down that thick shit in one go. The Lucis' mustache flutters in appreciation, and after a nod between him and Equius, he leaves as quietly as he came. I see you're an aficionado of the sweetest of nectars. It is milk, Equius! Please stop. This speaks to the likelihood of your nobility, which is reassuring. It's... It's milk, Equius. I may be able to overlook the circumstances of our meeting, then. If you can provide strong evidence, of course. Tell me, are you also a hoof beast art enthusiast? I am having trouble today. He beckons you inside the room, and as you follow, you tell him that you're not really sure what that means, but probably you're a fan of a lot of... Oh. Someone please tell this poor boy he's a furry. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I don't think he knows and he needs to know. Haha, wow, okay. So that's what that means. Cool, yeah, you know, whatever. You feel like you've learned once that anything can be art if it feels right, so art can definitely be the well-muscled horseman on the walls of this here living space. Equius rumbles in agreement and gestures towards the chair. It's one of those cool red and black gamer themed chairs with embedded speakers. There's a lot of that kind of decorating motif here, which is a little at odds with the high ceilings and engraved doorways and general blue blood old money architecture. Oh, yeah. And there are broken bows and robot parts all over the goddamn fucking place. Not in like neat little stacks or connected to each other robot parts to create whole robots, just an absolute wasteland of obliterated robo corpses. Like they all were torn limb from limb and just scooted off towards the wall, which they most likely were. A fair few of them are spattered in blood too, dried. It looks almost black, but the fresh stuff on the fist of the one in pieces at your feet is bright indigo. On one hand, it is absolutely a relief to see that it's all metal and not flesh body parts scattered the floor. But also it's still, you know, not fucked up looking. He's doing his best to smile. Oh my god. Your smile probably has too many teeth in it to seem normal, but Equius returns it in kind and leans what he probably thinks is casual against the edge of his desk. It creaks under his weight. Jesus, he could just end you in half a second, couldn't he? He really could. And he'd do it for free. Neutral? Neutral? He's so cute. You claim we have mutual acquaintances. I love him. So, demonstrate it. He nods towards the screen of his desktop where he has Trollian opened. Oh, fuck, okay. You guess you can just click on someone and ask them to prove it? He seems to know both Karkat and Gamzee, and between the two, you know who's most likely to be online and ready to pester and be pestered out of time, so you click his screen name and start typing. Hey, Karkat! I hope you're having a good day. I just have a quick favor to ask you. Wait, what? Oh, and also I miss you. What the fuck? What happened to you? Where's your horrifying quirk? How am I supposed to saddle up for some truly nauseating conversation if I don't have a not valid at all bullshit reference greeting me at the beginning of every one of your excruciating messages? Are you sick in like a new way? Oh, right, Jesus, you're logged in as Equius. Your fool ass just start typing like you had your own account for some reason. You blame it on nerves and get to clarifying. Oh, sorry, this is your new friend. After I dropped you off yesterday, I wandered around for a while, and now I'm hanging out with Equius. I'm on his computer. Oh, my pusher almost gave up on the spot. I don't think he trusts me. Can he vouch for me? Hold on, let me just bask in the concept of you two hanging out. This is a mental masterpiece, a tableau of awkward fucking splendor. I legitimately do not even know what sort of short-circuiting must have happened in his brain to try and make sense of you. Please don't tell me a single fucking thing about it later. Okay, whew, I'm done now. Is he watching? Equius leans over your shoulder and tucks his hair behind his ear so it doesn't get in the way of his typing. It's a bow and arrow. Any resemblance otherwise is only pleasant coincidence. And yes, I'm watching. Okay, whatever. Listen up, you milk-logged chum squelcher. This little guy right here, the one you're probably dripping in sweat all over, that's one of the realest friends you'll ever hope to make. Sure, they'll send your life careening horrendously off course, but it will absolutely be worth it for the level of dedication they bring to the table. Don't even bother with the blood color horseshit with this one, since they're the only one of their species. Just roll with it for once in your wretched life. And don't fuck this one up, Zahak. They're an abomination, and they wouldn't know what a boundary was if it took from presidents in their grease chute. But you have two... but you two have those things in common, so in this case, it's a good thing. Equius inhales sharply. And you wonder what Karkat meant by that. About Equius, you mean. Sure, you're an inexplicable being. Neither Earthling or Alternian, but with weird, itchy memories about having lived on both planets. But he doesn't seem out of the normal range of fucked up, considering troll standards. In fact, how about this? That is sufficient. Goodbye. He minimizes the window and steps back. Somehow sweatier than he was before. He taps the towel gingerly to his forehead. So, we have now been properly introduced. Okay then, you definitely thought he was going to be more thorough than that. He does seem a little shaken up, so maybe you should just be thankful the conversation got cut short before he could really dig too deep into your lore and get judgmental about it. I do not know the standard method of communication with your species. You will take the lead here, and it will surely become clearer how I should proceed. Baby, sweetheart, my dear sweet Equius, just... There is no hierarchy here. We are equal. Please just talk to me like a normal person. Yes, that sounds extremely feasible. You will now begin the friendship process. Bro. I command it. Equius. Oh, sure, you got this. How exactly do you got this? Don't say that. Though it might be the right option. Show off your cool powers, I guess. Great, you can do that. Making friendship happen is like one skill you actually have, from what you recall. You have a 100% success rate at it too, so this budding repertoire is safe in your hands. You have a 100% success rate in this timeline, because this is supposed to be your canon timeline, but boy oh boy, MC, you do not want to know what fucked up shit you have gotten into. Excellent. You really weren't sure he'd be down for this. It really seemed like he might be coming to kill you when you heard him stomping towards the door earlier. Oh god. Did I skip? Kill you. I would never. He cuts himself off as though he didn't intend to admit that he didn't have it in him to murder you, and clears his throat. At first I thought you might be an Warrior. First I thought you might be... Is that supposed to be Arthur? Is it supposed to be pronounced Arthur? It's probably not supposed to be pronounced Arthur, but I literally do not know anymore. So we're just gonna say Arthur. At first I thought you might be Arthur, my Luthless. It's ridiculous looking back, though you do share a sort of globule padded resemblance. How did you come to entangle yourself in my bra only to immediately escape? Are you abnormally fast? I admit that particular method of being strong had not occurred to me, but I am intrigued. I too like to test the limits of physical capability. Oh, no, you can just zap places. It's kind of a strength, maybe? If you want to define a superpower that way, you show off a bit. Since you know Equius likes demonstrations, you tell him about how all you have to do is think of a place or person you want to visit and pop! You bop to the top of the... You bop to the... bop, 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 bop to the... That was horrible, Elliot. You bop to the... I can't get over it. You bop to the top of the pile of robot parts, then back in front of him on the floor. It's like that, except anywhere. I see. That is exceptional. He sort of just starts quaking gently where he stands. He rubs his neck with his towel, but he's not really even sweating any more than he had been already. It's as though in his excitement he forgot to sweat and just dabbed by force of habit. Is that a thing? Why are you even noticing this shit? Is it possible to bring along a pillion rider? Like a zap buddy with you? In answer, you extend an elbow for him to grab. His whole body is vibrating at this point. He reaches his hand out but stops just before he touches you. Like you might shock him. It's okay, it won't hurt, you say. His fingers twitch just above your elbow, and his mouth purses in distress. You're not sure exactly what he's worried about since you're extremely undangerous, but you let him have a moment to work through whatever he's nervous about. He takes a steadying breath. It's a little unsettling to see his face relax, even briefly, into soft, calm lines. Flip palm up, his hand slowly cradles your forearm from below. He nods, a sharp, determined movement, and starts telling you what to do again. You will take me with you. Her name is Nepeta. Okay, so all of my life I've said Nepeta. We're gonna deal with that, alright? Alright. Her name is Nepeta, and she is my favorite! I love her! Do you require any other information, or will that be sufficient? That ought to do it! You haven't heard of her, you don't think. But you feel an immediate surge of excitement from this little jaunt. It's probably mostly the friendship thirst talking, but you can't help but feel like this is a connection that is supposed to be made, like it's something that matters. You zap away. The pleasant little cosmic slip and slide feeling when you zap is jolted, like you got yanked off the ride with a fish hook and forgot to land back exactly where you started. That did not work. Did you mislead me? No, this should work. You're not even high this time. As impressive as the strength of your power is, perhaps you need to apply more attention to the intricate details involved. She is an olive blood, very short, and shamefully unkept. She is baby. This information will help. You hope so. He, is starting to look pretty tense, even with the fond lit in his voice as he talks about his messy friend. You give it another whirl, then you feel it, that same weighty glare in the back of your neck, telling you you don't belong. Fuck, you got zap locked again. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. What's happening? Are we gonna have another brain moment with our old friends? You will try again. Each word is grounded out one at a time between his clenched teeth. Blood trickles through the cracks in his bite and out the corner of his lips. You really don't think it's going to work, but Equius looks like he's a second away from losing his shit. So, reluctantly, you comply. Quit fucking trying to skip ahead. It's not going to work. As you hurtle through space-time towards Equius's floor, you start to wonder if this is just gonna be what happens now when you try and make friends. You accept this truth in your heart as your face accepts the impending wooden planks. Equios lands on his feet a little ways from you, his hands balled into fists, bellowing with impotent rage. He's not even saying words, just unleashing an agonized guttural wail. He punches an already dead robot torso leaning against a bookshelf. In punctuation, he kicks its decapitated head, which explodes in a shower of bolts and sparks. As the dust clears, you see him dutifully wiping himself with a towel, breathing hard. He seems to have worked out his anger because he walks with purposeful grace, as though he learned it in collision, and sits next to where you're still sort of laying on the floor. You're both silent for a beat. Icarus tugs at a lock in his hair, anxiously wrapping it around his finger. His hand falls to his lap. I apologize for that display. The disappointment emotion is not my favorite. I feel better now, however. My morale lives very far away, so our paths have never been able to cross. Whatever force is blocking us seems to wield significant narrative power, so I will respect its whims as above mine in status. For now. You know, it happens. You're no stranger to the ups and downs of friendship. The trick is to know when to keep trying and when to fall back, no matter how futile it feels or how alone you feel. Your moral is impressive, considering your circumstances. That's probably mostly a compliment. You're not really sure. Your circumstances definitely feel like they could be worse. You are very sure of yourself. How do you manage this when you are only one of your kind? Without a society to tell you how to act or feel, how do you know if you're living in the correct way? How do you know where you belong? Or if you belong? Fucking ouch. The desire to belong is a yawning wound in your guts, one that never seems to heal. You try not to let this rip too many stitches out of it. You never feel totally secure, you say. There's always fear, always doubt, always pain. But you find people in unlikely places, make a community when and where you can. Shit. You have belongings at, like 8 people's houses by now? It's not the same as having your own spot, but it's definitely something. You started off on the defensive, but you realize it's true. So, really, you figure, you're still defining yourself by your relationships to other people, but that can come from a good place, and not just a twisted and forced one. You get wanting to know you're doing something right, unlocking your own mentally devised set of achievements for that sweet dopamine rush, but leaning on a fucked up social system for direction and validation doesn't really help him, and it definitely isn't helping many others. You don't need that to figure yourself out. His brow furrows, and you can almost hear a couple of the 4,672 rigid barriers in his mind creaking open. It's not just other people, you think. You find strength. Strength. Is that right? And your own self, too. You've met a lot of people and learned a lot of ways to be, but you're still working on what that means for you. No, it is not right, but I appreciate the attempt. This type of understanding does not come easy to me, but I believe I am following. In my case, I am striven to locate and retool the edge of my own ability. Physical prowess is a relatively typical indigo trait, but I am abnormally strong. I have worked to hone it in an attempt to make sense of myself and why I am like this. Reining in an aberrant trait and defining myself by it. He gestures to the god-awful robot mess, then flexes his hand. The blood has coagulated since you two started talking. He stares at it. This way of thinking may not always be a good thing, however. Certain habits are difficult to break. Though there are loopholes in every rule, I often lose track of which regulations I actually enjoy following and which I just do not know how to disregard. At least with this hobby, all the stakes are under my control, with no chance of others getting hurt. Unless they haphazardly zap in between your fight, looking for friendship, that is. His smile is as broken and rigid as it was the first time, but it feels different, backed by the rough warmth of his laugh. Yes, do not do that again. Next time you will zap to the front door and Arthur will let you in. Next time, you think. You smile back. Excellent victory! Hey, we did this one without failing! That was Aqueous. I missed this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry for disappearing for 4 months. If you want an explanation, I don't really have one other than I'm lost. I don't know where I'm going anymore, but because of that and my mental torment tied towards it, I took a really long break from YouTube, and it was obvious in my uploading schedule before I disappeared for 4 months that something was going on with me. I somehow managed to forget how much I loved doing YouTube and recording videos and laughing with you guys, and I'm sorry. I've promised before, and those promises were true, and I'm promising again. With every atom in my body and heart that I am trying. And I will do my best not to disappear like that again. Because if I'm being honest, this is the one foothold in my life, and I am not going to lose it. So thank you for being patient and staying with me through my absences and my ups and downs, and thank you for just being here. Well, that's it for today's adventure, stars. If you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already to join our wonderful galaxy. Comment down below and I'll get back to you in some way or another. And remember, we're all made of the same cosmic dust, so be nice. Okay? I love you. See you in the next adventure.